as we as we present our last piece to you, Marches of the Armed Forces, you'll hear the songs of our 5 branches of the military. If you are in attendance with us and you served in any of these groups, please stand when you hear your song.
Will Chief of Staff Ella Conklin please advance the colors? I now declare the 8th Assembly of Missouri Girls State convened. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the Commissioner of Education, Grace Grandel.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The national anthem will be led by Veronica Urena.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Will the Chief of Staff please retire the color bearers? Please be seated. I would now like to introduce the Superintendent of Highway Patrol and my dear friend, Reagan Newell.
Well, hello, Girls State, for the very last time. I'm going to start this off with two words that describe this entire group, community, program in what I now consider a family. Girl power. The amount of woman power I see from this group makes my heart explode, because who runs the world? Girls. And that's all what this program is dedicated to do. It's designed to take us young citizens of America who might have never been apart from our families before, might have never spoken in public, might have never imagined themselves campaigning and running for office, then throwing us into a community together and transforming each other into women of the future. Now that's what I call girl power. Each and every single one of you will make a difference in this world one day. Each and every one of you will make some sort of impact on someone's life for the better because of the week you just spent here at Girls State. I truly believe, without hesitation, that this program is the connecting wire that turns us from unfinished, unformed, and juvenile into something strong, powerful, finished pieces of work that can tackle any crazy task that life might throw. Now, I know I haven't got to meet each of you individually because, like I said in my opening speech, there are a lot of you. And you might still be like, who is this girl? But I just want you all, as a conjoined Girls State, to know that I care immensely about you and hope that you do the best things in life. I hope that you all reach any and all dreams that you might have, because the sky is the limit. And actually, in Girls State world, there is no sky. There is no limit. So go out there, take the curveballs as learning moments, and change the world. And for Madam Governor Dua, also known as my partner in crime this week, thank you. Thank you a million times over for showing me what a compassionate, loving, caring, intelligent, and most importantly, powerful friendship looks like. I improved as a woman this week through watching you go about your days as the way you do. Whether it was stopping to give girls advice on running for office, or double-checking the schedule to make sure you weren't going to miss an assembly that you wanted to watch girls run for positions, or even just little things like picking up trash on the ground when you see it. Guys, she stopped on our way into Walmart to pick up one little piece of trash that nobody else would have noticed, to throw it away. That one little moment relived in my head the whole rest of the day because I was blown away about the compassion that this girl has for our country. The fact that most people wouldn't even notice a tiny piece of trash on the ground in the Walmart parking lot, but that sort of stuff just stands out to Dua, and she naturally has the instinct to pick that up. Dua, I am deeply appreciative of the bond we have created this week, and I hope that it means as much to you as it does to me. You have been the best roomie to me this week, mostly because you created just as a mess as I did, so I didn't have to feel bad. The way our friendship turned from get-to-know-you questions at the beginning of the week to last night, you sitting there and saying, Reagan, will you brush my teeth for me? You will make a change in this world one day, and I will be sitting front row to cheer you on. I love you and your goofy self bigger than life. I would also like to thank Miss McKay, Miss Maya, Olivia, Jordan, Kyle, and the rest of the Girls State staff for making me feel welcomed in my first session on being on staff. The troopers made this week so great for me, and for that I am forever grateful. I am more than happy to return to this outstanding program each year from here on out because of how much of an impact it has made on my life. These wonderful ladies who spend time away from their families, jobs, children, and friends sacrifice so much in order to make this program efficient and fun for all of you. In my opinion, these ladies are the reason that my Girls State experience has been the most incredible thing that I have ever been through because of their time and dedication to us. So, to all of the staff here at Missouri Girls State, thank you for making my time memorable and empowering. I would also like to thank Miss Leah Schultz, whom is not present at the moment because she decided to get sick today and leave me. Leah was the superintendent of my session last year and came back this year and helped guide me through this week in order to do my best to serve you guys. Without Leah, I believe that I would not have had the confidence nor motivation to get on this stage and speak to you guys. Leah and I have created a bond this week that I will forever cherish and cannot wait to get together again outside of the program. So thank you, Leah, for being the best role model in person that I can look up to. It truly means the world. Love you so big. And I hope somebody recorded this so I can show her. A huge thank you to my troopers who stuck with me even when I gave them wrong directions or didn't have an immediate answer to their questions. You girls were so patient with me this week, And that is what I am most thankful for. You made it insanely easy on Olivia, Jordan, and Kyle this week, and I'm sure they appreciate that as well. I could not have asked for a better group of troopers this year, and I would just like to say one last time how proud I am for all the work you put into this week. And to wrap this up, I would like to thank you, citizens. Thank you for allowing me to serve this year as your superintendent. Thank you for being so kind to Dua and I, and always treating us with love and respect, something that makes us respect you. You all have made this week incredible. I've said this many times already, but I am blown away by the energy and motivation that you girls have to become better versions of yourselves. You are all young leaders of America and will soon show what you are capable of. I can't wait to see what each and every one of you do outside of this camp. If there is one thing that I ask out of you, it is to keep in contact with each other. How many of you met someone this week that you believe will be in your life forever? You see all these hands? And you don't want to lose these people, this bond, just because you split up after this. Plan trips to see each other, FaceTime, keep each other updated on your life events, because these girls next to you will be there to support you in anything that you might ever endure, and that is what I consider girl power. Thank you.
Before I start, I just want to say that I made a bet with Reagan that I wouldn't cry. I was like, Reagan, I didn't even cry at my high school graduation. I'm not going to cry here. And now look at me. And so if my mascara is running, don't tell me. I don't want to know. And I'm feeling really grateful, so I have a lot of thank yous, so, bear with me. First, of course, I'd like to thank Reagan for being by my side this entire week, putting up with me when I told her I'd be ready in 5 minutes when she and I both knew that wasn't true, and making me laugh when I was tired and stressed by my college placement exams. I knew when I chose her that she would be a qualified and well-respected superintendent. What I didn't know was how close we'd become so quickly. There's no one I would have rather gone through this experience with. I'd like to thank Amina and Leah, who, if you don't know, are our previous governor-superintendent duo. They offered up advice and comfort whenever we needed it, which was often. Our incredible director, McKay, who put so much work into this program and who was also a comforting and supportive presence for me this week. We so sincerely appreciate everything that you do for us. In fact, the entire MGS staff, our impressive troopers, and all of our volunteers have dedicated so much to making this week fun and efficient for everyone. So can we give them all a big round of applause? I'd like to thank my sponsor for making it possible that I would even attend this program last year as a citizen. I'd also like to thank the MBS program and their director, Brad Lear, for all of their cooperation with us this past week. I'd like to thank the American Legion Auxiliary and their president, Victoria Ornalis, as well as Lindenwood University, and viewers like you. Thank you. No, but seriously, at various times this week, I've seen this group relentlessly support each other, take risks, and build relationships at an astounding rate. Today, a citizen let Reagan use their bathroom because ours was clogged. Yesterday, the city whose hall we're in decorated Reagan and I's door to surprise us. And the day before that, I met a girl whose parents are from the same town in Sudan that my parents are from, which is like 7,500 miles from here. But I reveal all of that to say this. I am not the governor you elected. I'm just the governor that was lucky enough to serve your session. And yet, there wasn't a single time this week that I didn't feel loved or appreciated. And I'm sure that became more obvious as the week went on, or at least I hope it did. And now, I like to do things quickly, almost to a fault. I talk too fast, I walk too fast, and I drive too fast. But given the high-functioning and fast-paced nature of Girl State, I find myself in my element when I'm here. But I was finally forced to slow down at our state celebration last night. Sitting on the turf, watching a gorgeous fireworks display, and looking around as I saw delegates of MGS and MBS talking, laughing, and wiping sweat from their foreheads. It was really hot. And in that moment, I went, oof, what a bummer that real politics aren't something like this. I forget that we've been living in the Girl State bubble for the last week. While the world outside of Girl State can often be a lot more bleak, I encourage you to take the same work ethic, passion, and joy you have here back home with you and into your careers. And in doing so, you will become a positive influence on those around you. And maybe we can use some of this girl state energy to help the world. It might sound optimistic, but it's really not. One person at a time and one step at a time, we can make it so that people in this state and country feel equally represented. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about how impactful it is that I, as a Black child of Muslim immigrants, am standing in front of you right now. I made the incorrect assumption that the demographics of MGS governors would reflect our real state government, which is exclusively white. I've been given hope and faith that our generation will elect with a more open mind and a more open heart. If that's the case, this probably isn't the last time you'll see me. Missouri is becoming more diverse, which means that together we must commit to acknowledging and accepting our differences, as well as recognizing our common humanity. And in that way, I believe we can bring a grace and decorum back to politics that only Girl State could. Ultimately, I do hope that I've set a good example for you and represented you, no matter where you come from. Girl State, it's been a pleasure. Goodbye. Don't do this. I'll cry again, don't do it. But not actually goodbye, because we still have stuff to do. Okay. It is now my pleasure to introduce President Pro Tem of the Senate, Brittany Hickerson, and the Speaker of the House, Caden Dye.
Thank you so much, Dua and Reagan. You two are very inspiring, wonderful women, and I'm sure all of Missouri Girls State is so appreciative of you.
We'd like to give them one more thanks. Thank you for being so kind to us and dedicating your time to Missouri Girls State. We truly appreciate it. The joint session of the 2022 Missouri Girls State General Assembly is called to order. The invocation will be given by the chaplain of the House. Please rise.
Our Heavenly Father, we ask thy blessing on this meeting. May the leaders who will be inaugurated here tonight be guided by thy infinite wisdom. All this we ask in thy name. Amen.
Please be seated. The next order of business is to establish a quorum of both houses. Will the Speaker of the House please make the motion?
Will the House Clerk please establish if the quorum is present? Will members of Missouri Girls State General Assembly House of Representatives please stand to establish a quorum? A quorum is present. Please be seated. Will the Senate Pro Tem please make the motion?
This joint session of Missouri Girls State General Assembly has convened to notify and inaugurate the newly elected officials of Missouri Girls State. Will the honorary colonels retire to wait on the newly elected officials? will the honorary colonels retire to bring forward the newly elected governor? Will the honorary colonels please bring forward the governor-elect Cecilia Barton? Will the honorary colonels and Crowder City Honor Guard please retire? I would now like to introduce our guest speaker, who will also inaugurate our newly elected officials. Robin Ransom was born in July 1967 in the city of St. Louis, state of Missouri. She graduated from Wasatch Kane High School. She completed her undergraduate degree at Douglas College, Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey, receiving her Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Sociology. Judge Ransom attended and graduated from the University of Missouri-Columbia School of Law. Following law school, she worked as an assistant public defender in the St. Louis County office from 1992 to 1995. She was assigned primarily cases in the Family Court Juvenile Division in fall of 1995. She took the position as an assistant prosecuting attorney in St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. She remained in that position for a year. In October of 1996, she began working in a family court juvenile division of the 21st Judicial Circuit, St. Louis County, as a staff attorney. In that role, she handled juvenile delinquency and care and protection cases, which included termination of parental right matters. Her judicial career began in 2002 when she was appointed as a family court commissioner for the 22nd Judicial Circuit on December 27th of 2002. In that role, she presided over juvenile delinquency and care and protection cases, termination of parental rights matters, guardianships, and adoptions. She served in that capacity until September 11th of 2008, when she was appointed by Governor Matt Blunt as circuit judge in city of St. Louis, the 22nd Judicial Circuit. Initially, as a circuit judge, she was assigned to a general trial division from September to December of 2008. From January of 2009 to December of 2010, she was assigned to the family court presiding over contested divorces and motions to modify. Judge Ransom returned to the general trial division from January of 2011 to December of 2015. In January of 2016, she began serving as the administrative judge of the family court, overseeing all facets of the court's operations, both in the juvenile and domestic divisions. In September of 2016, she was unanimously elected by her peers to serve in the capacity of assistant presiding judge. of the 22nd Judicial Circuit for the calendar years of 2017 and 2018. Then in September of 2018, she was again unanimously elected to her peers to serve as the presiding judge of the 22nd Judicial Circuit for the calendar years of 2019 to 2020. After just a few weeks in that role of presiding judge, Judge Ransom was appointed by Governor Mike Parson on January 9th of 2019 to the Court of Appeals, Eastern District. On May 24th of the 2021 year, Governor Parson appointed Judge Ransom to her current position as Judge of the Supreme Court for the state of Missouri. Judge Ransom is a member of the Missouri Bar and Bar Association of Metropolitan Street, St. Louis. She is a recipient of the Theodore McMillan Service Award from the Black Law Student Association of St. Louis University School of Law. She also, in 2019, received a Women's Justice Award for Public Service presented by Missouri Lawyers Media. In 2008, she received the Clarence Darrow Award from the Public Interest Group in St. Louis University School of Law. Judge Ransom is also a frequent presenter to school groups and organizations interested in juvenile laws and juvenile justice. Judge Ransom was retained in the role of circuit judge in both 2010 and 2016. She was retained as a member of Missouri Court of Appeals, Eastern District in 2020. Her current term as a member of the Supreme Court expires December 31st of 2022.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. When you're sitting there, I know you all are too young to remember the television show, This Is Your Life. But that's what that sounds like. This is my life, all kind of reminding me of all of the things that I've been through since 1992. Again, good evening to everyone. I've never been told that I speak softly, so if you can't hear me, just raise a hand and I can take it up a notch. Thank you so much for having me this evening. Let me first say, I really didn't have a clue as to what I was being asked to speak to or at. So I looked everything up online, trying to get a good idea about what I was walking into. All I saw when I came in this evening were smiling faces. Everybody was so excited and happy, and I'm looking around like, what are we all happy about? After watching just the first, few minutes of this program, I can certainly understand the enjoyment and excitement for the young ladies here and their families who are here to support them. So thank you very much for inviting me to participate. I'm one of those people, I like to know, what am I supposed to talk about? You've had a week's worth of quick-paced, fast learning in politics and how to move and shake and negotiate. And as young women, I just thought I'd talk to you about what leadership in life means to me. And hopefully you get something out of what I say. I have a 17-year-old at home. I call her, I told someone earlier, the teen queen. So I'm not offended if you look at me like, why is she still talking? I'm used to that expression. For those of you who don't know me, which is most of you, I do not like attention, and I love my anonymity. Again, which is why I don't come out and speak at events often. When I applied for my latest job, I was told that I'd have to get out more, attend more events, be more visible, and do all of the things that, frankly, I just don't enjoy and don't do. But as you'll learn in an interview, you nod and say, uh-huh. Sure, that sounds great. And then you get the job. And you'll have to then feel and figure out how to step into those shoes that you just said you could. Being appointed to the Supreme Court has not changed my attitude. I still hide as much as possible. I'm still somewhat of a recluse, but I am cognizant of the impact that my appointment has had on our community, state, and nation, especially when I started getting calls from CNN. I have to say, I'm not one to toot my own horn, but that phone call, I think, thrilled me more than anything that's ever happened to me. My appointment to Missouri's highest court has pushed us further towards achieving racial, ethnic, and gender equity, particularly within the judiciary where diversity definitely does matter. Again, when I'm asked to speak, I'm always thinking, oh my God, what am I possibly going to say? But I'm privileged to spend this time with you, and I hope to leave you with something that you can use as you develop as leaders. I've divided it into 3 pieces of advice. First, there's no rush in life. Second, find and define your own narrative. And lastly, remember that life's journey is not just about you. So let's start with the first piece of advice, that there's no rush in life. Honestly, this is not where I thought I'd be at this point in my life. I was a big slug when I was 17. I was the youngest, and I had always been told by my parents that my only job was to go to school. I took that advice literally. I never made any effort to work or to do anything outside of school. I honestly started off wanting to be a rock star. Don't laugh because I'm serious. We didn't have American Idol when I was growing up. We had a show called Star Search. You'll have to look on YouTube. There's still clips of it. I knew after watching Star Search that I would not make it big in Hollywood, but I still sing every chance I get. So I tried to take some guidance and leadership from family members. One of my older brothers was a highway patrolman out in Phoenix, Arizona, and he invited me to come out for a summer and see if that's something I thought I'd like to do. We went on a ride-along, and if you've never been on a ride-along with a police officer or a trooper, we were hiding sort of in the ditch in the middle of the highway, and I had the radar gun checking speeders. I thought, man, I could do this all day. That's until we shot out of the ditch at 100+ miles an hour, chasing the car. So I knew then that that would not be my career choice. My other older brother was an FBI agent at the time, and I thought, okay, this is it. I'm going for the FBI. Again, I'm going to date myself. A lot of you may not have seen the movie The Silence of the Lambs. And I'm not talking about a remake. I'm talking about the old one with Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling. I see a person. They were giving out T-shirts. The movie had just come out. I went to Quantico to watch my brother train and graduate, and I knew I had arrived. That is until I saw the obstacle course, saw the walls that they had to scale, saw how many miles they had to run, and their training as federal police officers. Again, another failed career path for me. Some people grow up saying, I want to be a lawyer, doctor, teacher, etc. That was not me. I didn't have a clue, and I only went to law school to kill time until I figured it out. And forgive me, because people always say, oh my God, you're too honest in these things. But this is just how I am. And it is true. I absolutely hated law school. I did not find it interesting. And I'm telling you, it's the truth. And I only stuck with it because I'm a bit OCD and I hate to leave things unfinished. So, It wasn't until graduating and finding a job working with delinquent kids that really made me start believing that if I could work helping kids all day, maybe that attorney gig thing would not be such a bad idea. I started my first job as an attorney in 1992. Almost 30 years later, I've made it to the top of my profession as a Supreme Court judge. And I like to quote one of my favorite song people, since you know I'm into music, Drake. I started from the bottom, literally, and now I'm here. I remember in law school and when graduating, everyone seemed to have it figured out but me. But as we learned from the old Aesop fable, I know I'm dating myself, but hang in there, you all have heard about the tortoise and the hare. Remember, it's not how fast you start, but it's how you finish. So again, as to that first piece of advice, there's no rush to get where you're going. Take your time and enjoy the ride. My second piece of advice, define your own narrative. My dad was born in the city of St. Louis in 1936. He was a fireman for 30 plus years. When he began his career, the engine house that he worked in was segregated. He could not eat or share sleeping quarters with the other men, and though he worked alongside them when they went out on a call, he was told that they may or may not come to his rescue in the event of an emergency. He had no other job options at the time, and so he persevered. He didn't teach me and my siblings, however, to be bitter. Instead, he used to tell us that we define ourselves and how we choose to live. And he used to recite lines from his favorite poem that I often mention, and it's called Desiderata by Max Ehrman. And a few of those lines say, "You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should." So how does this tie into controlling your own narrative, you might ask? When I walk into a room, it is very clear that I am a Black woman. But that's just what you see. You know absolutely nothing about me. I was taught to always stand proud, walk with my head high, be stoic, and most certainly to be unapologetic for my heritage and background. To be proud of who I am and to not let others define me or determine my destiny. I don't worry about who likes me or who dislikes me because I'm focused on myself and what I need to do to keep moving forward. Sometimes we worry too much about what others think. And sometimes we are so busy watching others, either trying to be more like them or criticizing them or being envious of others. But you need to remember that your life is your personal race. Don't spend any time talking or gossiping about other people or their choices. Focus on yourself. I was just telling my 17-year-old this when she was discussing some girl drama at school. One of her classmates is here, so don't repeat that. I told her that gossip is so much fun, unless it's about you. As women, we must be encouraging of one another, and even when you feel as if you're falling behind, make sure that you are measuring yourself based on your own pace and not measuring yourself by someone else's pace or standards. But that's so much easier said than done, isn't it? Between the internet, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we are constantly being shown that we could be better in all sorts of ways, prettier, thinner, better dressed, just more exciting overall. You will learn that there are things that you cannot control, such as another person's perceptions or reactions to you. But stay true to the plans that you have set for yourselves and know that your narrative will be ever changing. You dictate You decide how fast or how slow you want to take this race in life. Life is a daily grind, and some days will far outshine others. But if you keep your head down and stay focused on your goal, you will succeed. You should be the only one defining what success means for you, not what it means to anyone else. And always remember the words of Max Ehrman, you have a right to be here, and your lives are unfolding just as they should. That last piece of advice was reminding you that your life and how you choose to live it is not just about you. So I said part of it is, part of it's not. When my kids were little and they never wanted to wash their hands and they never wanted to use Kleenex to wipe their noses, I would always say that little nasty people grow into big nasty people. That was the only way to make the point. If they misbehaved or they were being mean, I would tell them that little asses just develop into big asses as adults. There are too many times we forget that we don't live in bubbles. What we do, what we say, how we behave has a rippling effect in everyone else's world. Sometimes we don't even know the negative impact and destruction we can cause by our own poor judgment and behavior. So in my third piece of advice, remember that your life is all about you and not all about you at the same time. You owe it to yourself and others at all times to always be the best version of yourselves. If I asked you all in here, how many of you think that you're a really good person? Let me see a show of hands. Oh my goodness, there's no good people in here. A really good person, I see a few, okay. For those who think they are good people, if I asked how many of you think it's easy for you to be a good person, let me see a show of hands. Some say it's easy. Being a good person takes a ton of effort every minute of the day because you are constantly thinking about how your actions may impact others. Just think about it. Trying to go through an entire day where you don't say something mean to or about someone, where you're focused on how much you can personally get in this life without considering other people, how we let greed and selfishness enter into our minds. Don't get me wrong, it happens to all of us and it's a struggle. But we have to be mindful of the fact that what we do, what we say, how we live will affect someone even if we don't know it. And it's really important as leaders of tomorrow to try to hold yourselves in the best way possible and to focus on your own achievements while also striving to improve things around you, like picking up trash. Don't misunderstand me. It's okay to enjoy your achievements. Celebrate your accolades. Splurge on a few material things. But true leaders do not live in a vacuum. You have to have people to lead, and true leaders care about the service aspect of leadership. We see all too often that the higher some individuals climb on the ladder, they tend to forget their purpose and how they got there. Lately, we have seen and we have been inundated with stories of leaders being led by greed, personal glory, and fame, and what have you. Leadership requires some self-sacrifice because it is not just your success that you're concerned with. A true leader works to make those around them better, and sometimes that involves self-sacrifice. I used to cringe every time someone called me a leader because I would think, why are these people my responsibility? I'm just trying to do my own thing. But I've learned that we are all each other's responsibility, and a true leader can multitask, focusing both on themselves and the well-beings of others. There are two songs that get me pumped up daily. I'm back to music. I guess that's the rock star in me. Some of you, again, won't know who ABBA is. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, Dancing Queen. I start the day with Dancing Queen, and I love the lyrics. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Then I listen to Leanne Womack's I Hope You Dance. And as that verse says, I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance, never settle for the path of least resistance. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. All of you dance your way into the life of leadership. And let me thank you in advance for all that you will do and all that you will accomplish. I hope that I've said something that can help spur you all on to be the best versions of yourselves and the best leaders that you can be. Thanks again for having me, and have a great night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is now my pleasure to announce to you the Supreme Court judges. Chief Justice Jia Singh, Judge Elena Hassman, Judge Hannah Yohe, Judge Anna Chellis, Judge Sophia Black, Judge Brooke Taylor, and Judge Hannah Rice. Will the judges please rise, and will all other officials except the governor-elect rise as well? Raise your right hands and be prepared to take the oath. Is that everyone? Please repeat after me. I do solemnly pledge that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of Missouri,
the Constitution of Missouri,
and the Constitution of Missouri Girl State,
and the Constitution of Missouri Girl State,
and will faithfully discharge my duties
and will faithfully discharge my duties
of my office at Missouri Girl State
of my office at Missouri Girl State,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I pledge this upon my honor.
I pledge this upon my honor.
Right, ladies, you may be seated. It is my pleasure to announce each official as she receives her ribbon this evening. State Auditor Abigail Swink. Attorney General Tochi Ehekona.
Thank you.
State Treasurer Mimi Tran. Secretary of State Grace Wright. and Lieutenant Governor Layla St. Christopher. And our Supreme Court judges, Chief Justice Jaya Singh, Judge Elena Hassman, Judge Hannah Yohe, Judge Anna Chellis, Judge Sophia Black, Judge Brooke Taylor, and Judge Hannah Rice.
And will Governor-elect Cecilia Barton please step forward and raise your right hand? Please repeat after me. I do solemnly pledge that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of Missouri, and the Constitution of Missouri Girls State, and will faithfully discharge my duties of my office at Missouri Girls State according to the best of my ability. I pledge this upon my honor. Congratulations.
You're already helping me with this, but it is my pleasure to officially introduce for the first time Governor Cecilia Barton.
You may be seated, although you're sitting already. I would like to start by quoting a personal hero of mine, young Justin Bieber. You know you love me. I know you care. You shout whenever, and I'll be there. As your governor, I promise to live by these words: to love, to care, and to be there. I've been told I can get a little carried away in these speeches, and I've come off a little intense, just a little. But it is truly because I am passionate. I am passionate about Girls State, and I am passionate about all of you. I want you to go into the world and be whatever you want to be. I want you to be brave and bold because every single one of you is amazing. This world needs you. This camp has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I am so grateful to the countless people and organizations that have worked tirelessly to give us this week. I would like to thank the American Legion Auxiliary. Without the ALA's support, none of us would be here. I would not be here, so thank you. Next, I would like to thank President Victoria Ornelas and Director McKay Mickens. It's their leadership and dedication that have made this camp run seamlessly. At a camp that teaches the fundamentals of democracy, we must recognize those who protect our democracy and our freedom. So thank you. Thank you to those who've served those who are serving, and those who've died to protect our country. There's no America without the selfless women and men who sacrifice their lives so we can be free. Next, I would like to thank the volunteers here at Girls State. They've taken time out of their busy schedules to teach us and to inspire us. Thank you to my city councilors, Ms. Eliza and Ms. Abby. Thank you to my county councilor, Ms. Audrey, and the beautiful Ms. Baby Eleanor. Thank you to the woman, the myth, the legend, my campaign manager and chief of staff, the girl behind the binder, Ella Conklin. I would not be here without her. And of course, I haven't forgotten, thank you to the craziest, the hypest city. Where my Carter Cowgirls at? Woo! And finally, thank you to every delegate. Thank you for taking the leap and coming here. Thank you for giving it your all, and thank you for electing me your Girls State Governor. It is my pleasure. Sorry. It is my pleasure to now announce the new superintendent for the 2023 Girls State, Madison Stewart. And give her a medal. Sorry, I messed it up. Congratulations. Thank you. And for my first official duty, I would like to thank Judge Ransom for coming tonight and installing all of us. We appreciate your support of Missouri Girls State. Please accept this gift as a thank you from us. Lieutenant Governor Layla St. Christopher, as President of the Senate, will you please come forward?
Madam Governor, the Missouri Girls State General Assembly brings forth business for your consideration. I ask that you recognize the Speaker of the House and the Senate President Pro Tem.
As Speaker of the Missouri Girls State House of Representatives, I am pleased to inform the Governor that the House and Senate have truly agreed and finally passed House Bill Number 4, an act creating free period products at Missouri Girls State, sponsored by Representative Bine of Carver City. And House Bill Number 6, an act requiring all food at Missouri Girls State to be labeled to help with dietary restrictions, sponsored by Representative Vaught from Compton City.
I am proud to congratulate, where does it say that girl's name? Sorry. Okay. I don't know what the sponsors are. I am proud to congratulate Representative Biden for officially instituting the free period products in next Missouri Girls State. And I am proud to congratulate Representative Vogt for officially including labeling dietary restrictions in the next Missouri Girls State. Congratulations. If those two representatives could please come forward to receive their bills. Woo!
We're going to hand this to okay. As President pro tempore of Missouri Girls State Senate, I am so truly pleased to inform the governor that the Senate and the House have truly agreed and finally passed Senate Bill number 8, an act creating eco-friendly silverware at Missouri Girls State, sponsored by Senator Brooks of Bacon County, as well as Senate Bill number 16. An act following delegates at Missouri Girls State to include their preferred nicknames and pronouns on name tags and ballots, sponsored by Senator Gaddy of Johnson County.
I am proud to congratulate Senator Brooks for implementing eco-friendly silverware in the next session of Missouri Girls State. If Senator Brooks will please come up now and receive her bill. Woo! I am now proud to congratulate Senator Gaddy for officially implementing pronouns in name tags and ballots in the next Missouri Girls State. If you will please come up and receive your bill.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn the joint session? Do I hear a second? Hearing a motion to adjourn and a second, all of those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Will the Senate chaplain please give the closing prayer? Please rise.
Please bow your heads with me. Grant us, O Lord, as we go forth from this meeting, may we have the will and strength to assist our newly elected officials to fulfill the obligation of the oaths taken here tonight. We ask thy blessing upon our officials throughout the coming year. Amen.
Will the color guard please come forward to retire the colors? Please be seated. Parents, family, friends, and special guests, thank you so much for your support as we prepared to come to Missouri Girls State and for your encouragement throughout this week. We would like for you to join us for a reception in the lobby at the conclusion of all inaugural group singing. Please make your way to the landing and stairs outside the auditorium. Once all citizens have filed out of the auditorium, we invite you to enjoy refreshments with your delegate. Refreshments will be served in the lobby. Will the House and Senate doorkeepers please come forward to the front of the stage? I now declare the joint sessions of the 2022 Missouri Girls State General Assembly dissolved.